that you pass down. If the energies are negative in a sense and you didn't learn the lessons and you're projecting them towards your children or other people in the family, then those people are going to have to carry them. The more in tune and in touch with themselves they are, the more empathetic and good natured they are, or the higher vibrational that they are, that they're carrying, the more they're going to be expected to carry for others that are not doing the self-accountability, introspection, or self-healing. It's not fair at all to the individuals that take on the energies of other people and have to transmute that into positive energy, into something creative, doing something that has taken that negative and turned it into a positive. So when it comes to lessons learned in the family, if you yourself are not considering yourself to be brainwashed and you're fully aware of your actions and how and what you are passing to others, then you would also be aware of what you're teaching your children too. When it comes to the unfair advantage, if you're only teaching the masculine or the boy in the family certain knowledge of how energies work, of how things can be manipulated, of how things can be called into existence for materialization, like the manifestation, thoughts become things. If the masculine, the boy, is being taught one thing but the feminine is not, and the feminine is being more so taught the reality of a role of being a servant or being a slave or being anything other than equal to the boy, then that is a problem. If you are fully cognitively aware of making that decision and segregating the two or separating the two sexes and teaching one over the other specific knowledge and not making it equal, then you are held accountable. You are responsible for what happens in the future. You are also adding any fuel in the future to the flames that is the current patriarchal societal functioning of control. And that is an issue in itself, unless you believe that to be normal, unless you believe that to be okay. But any person that has done healing, any person that is aware of this sort of thing is also aware that that's not okay. Not having the equality there is not okay. When you are fully healed, you realize that there needs to be equal distribution to both energies, both sexes, of knowledge, of how energy works, of how manifestation works, of how things can be called into existence from the 5D to the 3, 4D here. It is very important that you make sure that it's equal, that both the boy, the girl, whichever child is being raised, whatever energies, masculine and feminine, what is passed down to them knowledge-wise is equal. If you are making the decision to not make that equal, then that is your decision. It is free will, and I'm not even judging you for it. I'm not at all. It is just a choice. What choices we as adults make for the children who are learning all this all over again, most of them, they are very intelligent and they are going to have ultimately a say in co-creating in the future, and it's our responsibility that they understand the knowledge that's passed to us, that we pass to them, of how things work, especially energetically. So currently, from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of people making decisions to change the narrative, to change the way control is seen, to change the way co-creation is happening, and that's wonderful. I really am happy to see that. But there are some still stuck in traditional ways of having one energy control the other. It's a duality in our existence, in our every being, and even with ourselves, of the duality of masculine and feminine. It's our responsibility to create and co-create the balance between the two. And teaching this to the next generations is very important, that we get this correct, because it's a turning point. And it's going to be changing regardless. Changes are already being made in a direction of balance and putting things back into order and balance, and having things even on the wheel of fortune being balanced out. But we need to be able to put that effort in. As I'm making this video now, I may not have children, but I also hold knowledge within myself, and I wish to share that with people so that other people have the advantage to help themselves, so that other people have the knowledge to know that their realities themselves can change for their current situation, if not favorable for themselves, that they ultimately have the free will to become unstuck and to become stable within themselves, both emotionally, physically, mentally, in their whole entire existence, their reality. They have ultimate control of their existence, and they can also contribute to co-creating as well. So that's my part in it. Using this platform to speak to people is my duty. I believe it to be my right as well to speak freely and to share, and that is my choice. Those that are teaching other children or the next generation, the choices that you make of how they learn information, how they learn about reality and how things are right now, and that they have the free will to choose for themselves, to make the future better for themselves, is important. It's also your choice, your free will on how you teach your own children or the children around you, of how they can be a part of this whole process, of how they can too make their reality and their future a lot more bright for themselves. And how the whole idea of masculine and feminine, the boys or the girls, men or women, can be equal and should be equal, not just stated as some propaganda that this is already a current thing, that we put our money where our mouths are, that we're actually acting upon this, not just stating it outright and claiming it to be so, that we are actually taking action and using our voices to create this new reality for everyone to benefit from, not just a specific group, not just a specific sex. This is for all of us, and we're all we are all responsible for this in our part that we play. And we do have free will to make the choices of what we do, of how we carry ourselves and how we carry information and what we pass down to those after us. It is our choice. And regardless of what you choose, I will not judge you for it. Because for me to judge you, I would have to be judging myself. And I've took a full look at both sides, my dark and my light. And I understand fully why we make decisions that we make and why other people make decisions they make. It's not necessarily right or wrong. Morally, it can be to those that consider it. But it is a lesson, and it is something for us to learn, no matter what we choose. I really strongly encourage you to make choices that if you are raising your own children or teaching children around you, to have the information provided to them be equal, especially when it comes to energies and how it works, especially when it comes to how this reality we're in works, and also teaching them that the matrix that is doesn't necessarily have to be held as that for the future, for their futures. Things can be changed for the better for us all. And it can benefit us all and help, as a community should, as we should be functioning as a collective, consciously and unconsciously, energetically, spiritually. It doesn't matter what religion you follow. They each hold a piece of the puzzle of the bigger picture. So what comes out of your mouth, how you act, how you treat others, what you teach, how you carry yourself, the decisions you make for your life, that is on you. What other people do is not your responsibility. Only what you do. What you share, what knowledge you share that you've learned, especially to children, is your choice on how you share it to them.